task of making friends and all that fun jazz. Talk to my weird ass kids, cause you know we gotta do that. I could hear it raining in my basement.
Attention to detail.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is Willie's birthday.
I don't remember who I was. I know I was trying to go see Linus, Caroline, I don't remember who had the damn dishes I needed.
Caroline, Jody.
Jody, that was the other one.
Yeah.
Go see Caroline. Go see Sunday.
I don't know what the hell I was playing last, but I just tried to use both joysticks to block. Actually, I do know what I was playing last. It was Risk of Rain, and that's why I'm trying to use both joysticks.
Yep.
Oh, my bad. Didn't mean to punch my mic.
Yeah, okay.
Why won't you hatch, you demon spawn of a slime? Keep making me kill other slimes while trying to avoid like the 2 reds and the 1 purple.
Start marking every slime you see. Jody, it's 9 in the morning. Why are you doing dishes?
I mean, breakfast?
She's like, did you scrub your boots off before you came in here? Sorry, one heart away from Smith Sandy's.
I mean, let's face it. Sam's probably got a stoner diet. Ken's a military man, and Vincent's a growing boy. So they probably go through food pretty fast.
Yeah. Oh. Abigail, Caroline cutscene.
Another cutscene.
Wait, whose cutscene is this?
I think Caroline's, actually.
I'm like no friendship with Abigail, so.
You just creep around people's houses again.
You can move in with Pam. Abigail's someone there, and I'm literally like, Adam's a store. Just standing there screaming. Yeah, just a random knight in armor was standing there. She's like, what the fuck?
There's also a church attached to that store, too.
Yeah, it's like was the community center, but now it isn't.
God damn it.
Yeah, because I don't have any of the other 3 things you like. At this point, Pam's the least pain in the ass of all these fools. So I'm at 6. I'm sure it's going to be 7.
Yeah, they were all 7, I believe.
Okay. That was her 6, so she's just got the 7. Judy. That was Judy invited me to dinner. I did that, so it's 7. Okay, that means I gotta wait till Sunday for them. I need to go see Sandy.
Was it yesterday that I eradicated the bug cave, or was that previous days?
Have you been putting the milk and eggs in my chest?
Did you still need those?
Yeah, well, I will now, because Marnie needs fucking cheesy nice pancakes and shit.
Okay, I will from here on out.
I mean, she does have some easy ones, but really the easiest one I can do is pancakes. Okay, ma'am, I'm not gonna use the bus.
So, I'm gonna start jamming up some of these fruits. Yeah, because I've got a lot of preservers down on my farm that aren't being used. I doubt we're gonna get through all these fruits. Make wine, so.
The only ones I really want to turn into are the star fruit.
Yeah, I'm doing melon jam right now.
No, that's not why I came to see you. Okay, Sandy, I'm done with you. So, I probably won't see you again. Getting there. Getting going. I'm assuming that whole the actual achievement doesn't involve your kids.
No, it doesn't.
Because I don't want to have to. Where am I with Miss? I'm all the way. Okay, so the only people I really have left are Marnie, Robin, Linus, Carl, Jody, Alex, Tor,
Hello, Jazz. How did I come down here?
I haven't done a fucking thing for Haley, and I don't even have her goddamn stuff. It's like I skipped over the H's when I was writing down.
She likes pink cake. I can tell you that. Yeah, you still got lots of melons.
Let's go. Emily's probably. Oh, she's right there.
I should ought to put the Stardew guide next to my Animal Crossing guide on my phone. That got real confusing real fast.
I have all my guides in a folder. And let's go see it. Okay, so there's coconut. Rabbit's foot, fruit salad, magic rock candy. What a bitch. Pink cake and some coconuts and pink cake. Those will be my easy ones. Fucking rock candy.
Yeah. Why would you give that to her?
Your sad ass not in your house right now.
Yeah, it's weird. She doesn't do the yoga either. Usually she's just wearing the forest. Marnie's at yoga.
Oh, she's at her house right
Oh, yoga must be over.
now. Yeah, I know your nephew's been saying. That's sad. It's like this.
He also made him unemployed.
Oh, chain. For a moment.
I guess technically he's employed by Marnie now, making hybrid chickens.
Oh, my life. The town's safe. I always walk the kids home. You don't really think it's that safe then? Okay.
I mean, we've seen Elliot.
Yeah. Elliot would be like. I don't know what kind of crime Elliot would conduct, but it would not be. Not be pretty. So it's like, you got a whole Bundy head game vibe to you, man. It's not good. Cobus. Let's see if anyone's in the pocket. Whole group of fools in here, Haley. Just wanted a warm chunk of cheese out of my pocket. None of these people come to the bar, obviously. One of them is your wife. No.
My wife should be
Yeah.
pretty easy to become friends with. I've got a refrigerator with strawberries in it.
Yeah, I just never go down there. I literally never go over there. So. Well, I just bought 7 pancakes from Gus.
I just killed a bunch of worms and got 5 algae soup for it.
Like they gave you algae soup?
Yeah, bowl and all.
I don't believe these bugs. You cut them in half and a bowl of soup. You didn't eat that.
It's not even made out of bugs. It's somehow algae only.
It's not white algae.
No. That's pale broth. It's just algae soup.
Coconuts. I'll give Linus the cactus fruit. I will say coconuts for Miss Haley.
Do you need me to save void eggs for Krobus?
Yeah, I mean, I could just give him iridium bars instead. Got plenty of iridium, so no, Alex is a fucking dick bag. She only likes fucking complete breakfast and salmon dinner, so I'll be giving him diamonds.
At least we've got unlimited supply of those.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. It's just these one of a couple people I'm gonna have to do it that way. Dwarfs will be pretty easy. Jody, not too hard. Krobus, not too hard. Leah, easy. As long as you just keep that goat cheese going. Probably somebody I don't have written down. Clearance, Sunny all day. Haley is not going to be that hard. Abigail, I don't have her. Jolly Kate.
I left you a bunch of puffer fish for her and her for your first chest.
Krobus easy, Maru easy, Dwarf easy, Alex not easy. Fox. He's literally the only one who's super goddamn picky that I have left. I'm sure he likes diamonds. Complete breakfast, magic rock candy. Please make sure it's salmon dinner, golden pumpkin pearl, and rabbit's foot. Yeah, so. You didn't even like diamonds, you bitch.
Salmon dinner, what
Give
does
me
that
rabbits.
take?
That's salmon.
Well, I know that
Those
much.
Still make. Let's see. Salmon dinner. So it's gonna be like. It just takes the salmon, amaranth, and kale.
Okay.
I think amaranth is next.
And you have kale. I think that was a fall fish. I can start trying to catch you a bunch of them. Oh shit, am I not asleep?
Yeah, it's false.
I was standing next to the love seat in my bedroom. Did not realize I didn't go to sleep.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely up on my botanical senses, but I'm pretty sure amaranth is a type of alfalfa. I don't know how much humans eat alfalfa. I know it's in horse meat, but a little alfalfa, a little kale, a little fish. Why not?
It seems, I mean, healthy? Question mark.
Oh yeah, a male slime has finally hatched.
Was it a male that I needed?
You walk in there, you look straight at him. Die. Because you want
It's Willie's birthday, by the way.
much different from many countries. Why am I diamond? No one likes honey, I realize. That's not like anyone.
Oh, hi Mario. Oh. I thought she was about to claim that she did something because she's standing on the porch, but she just says the farm smells great. Which
She literally like, I just wanted to get out.
I question that statement considering she's standing by a bunch of fish ponds.
Well, technically, fresh fish should not smell like anything. So
True.
your
You
fish
want-
be stinking.
You want jam, you want pickles.
I give stuff to you that actually. Okay, go see Marty. Rob.
Then the next time your pickles are done, I need one.
Okay. Some of my star fruit will finish. To Marnie and Leah first. Because
Tomorrow's on my porch.
I get to her. Because in theory, Robin and Marnie should be the easiest to find.
In theory.
So, these cows got to be animatronics. I've been theorizing how they stay outside all the time, but I also realized they don't look like.
They're
They
also
look like
the.
our cows, you know?
I was gonna say they're the only calves that have stayed calves. I didn't
Never
say
gone inside,
Xbox
ever.
Bing. What part of that sounded like Xbox Bing?
What you just said. No, don't come out of her house till 9 o'clock. How the fuck is it already locked? I was standing here the whole time. Jess, what is going on?
Okay, so you needed eggs.
Eggs and milk. Well, maybe I won't. But just
I'm going to mayonnaise the void duck and dinosaur eggs like I do the regular ones.
yeah, keep pulling some witchcrafty shit. How the fuck? I'm trying to remember. I don't think she gets up at 9. I feel like she got up at a later time than most people.
Well, what is your friendship with her? Is it above 2?
It's above 2, I know that.
Should be able to go in.
Yeah, I'm at. I think it's locked when she's. I can't remember. I know she had like a weird schedule compared to everyone else.
Well, and since she's one of the people who her house is her only room, you have to be good enough friends to go in there. Unlike, say, with Marnie, where you could still go into the house, you just can't go into her room.
It's just. Yeah, she doesn't leave her fucking house till noon. She's just gonna stay locked the hell up in there. Oh, yeah. She didn't unlock her house till like 11. Oh, Kel. You dick. Oh, I won't deal with you this time, though.
You should get to see him, though.
Yeah.
You know, well, you'll get to see him if you do the art show. You do
I
the
told her to do an art
online.
show.
You'll be creeping.
I feel like the art show is a better. Just... Okay. Just trying to make sure I don't mess up. Because Leah's always had a hard time remembering which ones were the right. Yeah,
Don't be
you
creep.
moved from Zuzu City. Weirdo.
I got 4 days left before fall.
Nah, your ex sounds like an idiot.
Salmon, a river fish.
I'll be like the supportive married guy that she's friends with.
Salmon
Of course
is
it's
a
a
river
river
fish. 6 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Don't trust you. He's literally the only person who I don't like because of how confusing he can be. He looks like he's a character out of fucking Castlevania. Like vampires. You're just standing there. That's funny.
I was looking at my phone.
No, I know you weren't paying attention. Just like you were intentionally standing directly next to the.
You did scare me a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck is moving at that speed?
Holy shit, that thing is cooking. Okay, let's go see.
It actually looks like amaranth is a grain.
Like I said, I wasn't 100% sure. I just know it's in horse feed
Yeah.
from Dirty Jobs. Great American Television.
What should I
Let's
do?
Make a building. Why don't we do that, Robin? You've been so bored.
You don't have
Honestly,
a
we would have
wood.
to gather supplies to do any of these, except for the cabin. No, I don't have stone on me, Robin. Why are you trying to get me to build a cabin?
I mean, we have a tree farm. If we really wanted, I could easily get the wood. But aside from the
Co-op
shed,
cabin
what the
has-
hell?
Yeah. Okay. who's next? Alex, you picky bitch. Go back to the dwarf.
You just gotta
Who will
curse him
take-
every time you look.
The dwarf takes all the weird minerals too.
Yeah, just like Clint.
Well, Clint would take like gold bars. The dwarf
Mm.
wants like. We take diamonds. Pearl, lemon, stone.
I think a diamond is like on him, not love. It's just like all the other
it
dwarf
is,
stuff.
Yep. Asshole. Yeah, that means I'll have to go back into the cave at some point.
You get like 10 earth
Right.
crystals, that'd be great.
What did you need that for?
The mountain warp totem.
Well, you know, look up what level earth crystals are on for me real fast.
I think they're
I know they
pretty-
start early.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they're pretty much a chance on all, but see if it has a. An earth crystal is a type of mineral that can be forged in the mines, especially floors 1 through 39. Or obtained from geodes and omni-geodes dropped from duggies in the mines, floor 1 through 29. Dropped from haunted skull panning, can also be fished up in chest. So, 1 through 39.
Okay. I'm sure they won't be hard. What's up, slime? You didn't even care about me. You just literally was like, oh, hey, just gonna carry on my day. Not even gonna try and attack you.
Yeah, the mountain warp totem, or the earth obelisk, is 10 iridium bar and 10 earth crystals. So I don't know if you can put those in the crystallariums.
This just looks horrible. Skulls everywhere. I don't believe they're a crystallarium thing.
I'm gonna buy 5 sturgeons from Krobus. I was here and I could. I could throw those in my ponds.
I get. Alright, this gives me something to do till Sunday, anyways, because we're all like, hey.
I knew it. I'm gonna have to give this cave. Well, I guess there's some.
Tipaz, that was one you liked to do, deep wave. Yeah, it is. Dwarf. Actually, I cannot just say that. Dwarf was a great man. And that dwarf has nothing on that cliff.
If you do want to give fishing a go, I can give you my iridium pole, and I've got wild bait for it. Should
I mean, it'd be nice if I could just fish at our pond and it would actually go up substantially, but I know I need to actually fish at like the ocean or some shit.
Yeah, the ocean.
My ass handed to me.
The ocean's your best bet.
What's up? What's going on? I just don't like these bugs because they can hurt me. Slimes are all fine. But I need that aquamarine, so I'm going to take it.
Krobus, your bug place needs to spawn fiber faster. I guess I can go weed
Do
eat
you
in the
need
forest.
fiber?
I'm just making wild bait.
The low levels of the mine are a good place to go.
Yeah, it's not a need. I'm just using up slime. Actually using it for a reason. Plus, if you do decide to fish, you can use that as bait, and it gets gives you multiple fish sometimes, which should make you go up faster.
Fucking irritation. It's like, what's this last dish need? You're not gonna like the answer. That, as soon as you said that, I was like, God damn it, it's fish. Which I mean makes sense, but son of a bitch.
My levels. I'm level 8 in mining, 6 in combat, and everything else I'm at 10.
I'm at 10 on everything except 9 on foraging and 5 on fishing. I really just need to go like harvest the tree farm one day, and I'm sure it'd get me.
It is fully grown at the moment too, so.
I've got 2 earth crystals at the moment.
Finally somewhat cleaning up the forest from all this debris. Just the weeds though, not really doing the rocks or logs.
What's down here?
And a spice berry on the ground.
You know, you can always trust the berries you just pick up off the ground.
I mean, probably could trust them more than you can the mushrooms.
Especially since the only mushrooms that seem to grow in Stardew Valley are all helpful except for one.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, this will heal you. This one will not.
This one may look like a Mario mushroom, but you don't want to eat it.
Do not trust. It will murder you. Okay. Looking for earth crystals. Building an obelisk. Also need stuff for the door. You know, I try and leave you guys be. You know, all you do is jump at me. I got lucky on the first couple of levels. At least I've got the iridium pickaxe, so I can just chew through all this stone.
True.
Except it is getting late, so I will search for the earth crystal. Even though I still have to. No, I'm good. I'm fine.
Oh, 100 even fiber. I didn't even plan that.
Oh, did you? Guess
Oh.
on the way out, I can swing by the Wolf Boy. I'm gonna give you the topaz. I love how you like. I really love this stuff, dude. You like just sit in this chair next to the mine all day. You could go to any level at this point. We might want to get this irradiation checked out, because I'm really starting to glow up a storm. Okay, the pickles are ready. I will
Okay.
deal with that in the morning. I keep seeing videos of like, someone did a Siren Head mod in Fallout 4. That sounds horrifying.
I mean, I saw
How come-
flipping through TikTok. I saw some of Josh Job's Siren Head stuff, but that's not really horrifying.
No, especially when you got little baby Siren Head going on. Well, it's funny in Fallout, the videos I've seen, it's like everything's cool, everything's fine, then you start hearing the, you know, the siren, so you're like, oh, that's not good. Why am I hearing that? And then you don't see anything, literally nothing. Nothing in the distance, everything's fine. And then literally he looks up, the guy looks up, and they're just, the Siren Head's standing there, not moving, not doing anything, just standing there, and all you're thinking is, this motherfucker is about to run for his life. It goes from okay to horrifying. Cabbage. Big cabbage. 60. We're called for 175. Okay. Assuming I'll be able to tell which.
Yeah, I was about to say I've come to abscond with your pickles.
Come for the thing that I hate the most.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, I pickled red cabbage. Well, technically, pickled cabbage is sauerkraut.
Kimchi?
So. Or kimchi, yeah. Well, no. Kimchi is fermented.
Mm,
I would say sauerkraut's more of a pickled cabbage. Fine.
true.
Kimchi's definitely.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, pick up the pace. Got a lot of melons to pick up here, and your short little hands are not doing it fast enough.
I mean, they can't even do about anything about the ones that are 6 times their size.
You know, I gave one of these guys an axe, but there used to be 12 of these little dudes.
Okay, we now have one of each color of slimes. It's a lot of green and blue after that.
A lot of deaths.
I don't know why I was so intent on getting the color of slime, aside from black.
It's like, why do I have 2 statues of Linus? Lewis at my house. We don't know. It's just there. They're a little scary.
Always watching.
Don't do that.
Oh, sheeperd.
It's just,
I've already forgotten all the names. Turducken. That's the one you named. Oh yes, a duck.
The most classic of names.
The game couldn't have even put like symbols there. I just straight delete my name word.
And it'll do it with weird words too.
I still remember when you in Minecraft when you tried to put a sign about weeds, they wouldn't let you put weeds because apparently it
Yeah,
had
literally couldn't
weed in it.
type the word weed. They were talking about literal like
Yeah.
weeds in the ground. That cracked me up. Bartender. It won't let you put bartender either. It won't let you put the word bar. I guess in that context, won't let you put the word bar because it literally blurped the whole goddamn word out. I was like, what the hell? Well, it's like Twitch. If you type something in chat on your phone, it will bleep out some of the weirdest words. Like words that don't even seem like cuss words. And then you look on the like consoles and it's showing every single word everyone's typing. So there's a weird filter on the mobile version of Twitch compared to the console.
You don't need duck feathers anymore, so I can sell that.
Luckily that's only Elliot who loves those.
Yeah. Assuming you got enough cloth. Yeah, you got 121 cloth in your inventory.
Yeah, so you can probably see how much I have. Quite the loads. I've just been keeping it in my inventory every time I see her. Here,
Yeah.
you know you want it. I realize when we get into like actually playing all through the Borderlands, those are gonna be fun but longer streams than I think.
Well, it's gonna be a longer series, but there's less games than Halo and Call of Duty, or not Call of Duty, Gears of War. So
It's just more open world than.
yeah.
But I figured like Borderlands will be a good thing to lead into Far Cry.
Yeah. True.
Buy it.
I do still want to get Portal 2 at some time too, and do that.
That's a good one too. I could just see in Far Cry though. Chilling. Like always, got a dude sighted in on my scopes. I'm like about to kill him, and then his neck just gets penetrated by an arrow. He just falls over. It's like, okay.
I really don't know why I'm so good with bows in that game.
Far Cry gives huge satisfaction to like. I think that's why I like Primal so much. There's like these throwing clubs that are just the most hilarious things to hit. The way their faces react to it is not realistic at all. Well, okay, you're a caveman. What we know of back then.
Yeah.
But it's just so funny. But it looks like the amount of force you're throwing at like Thor. Just completely decimating him.
There's gonna be the funny
Theory.
moments in Far Cry where you see me take someone out long range with a bow, but then there's also gonna be the funny moments where I'm like, oh look, a cougar. That's not a cougar. That's a fucking buffalo.
Fucking face theory. I've seen people do it like, oh, there's just a fold there. Nope, that's a bear. And it's like,
Yeah.
well,
Still is the best one when the cougar appeared in front of me. I'm like, oh, that cougar's not real. Then it bit me. I'm like, oh, that cougar's real.
yeah, that was a that cougar. Not real, no. Ow. He's very real. I love when you see the angels. And you're like, oh, stupid angel, and you shoot it and it turns into a fucking grizzly bear. And you're like,
Yeah.
I would have not chose this fight had I known that was the outcome. I love those videos where it's like, there's a bear, and it just shoots it with explosives. It's like, what?
There was a bear.
Some may say excessive. I would say, fuck that bear.
Yeah.
It's like in Far Cry when you run into the fucking, whatever the bears are called. You know, I believe it's just a different language for bear. As soon as you see one, though, you're like, fuck.
Said-
Everywhere.
You said Far Cry. Did you mean Fallout?
I meant Fallout.
Yes.
Too many F names flowing together there.
I don't remember what they're
Now I've got
called.
the coolest. Oh, I just punched one.
At least they're not like
Guys, if I
Minecraft
break one,
slimes.
where they still kind of make a constant annoying noise.
It's just
I just don't
Minecraft
get
slimes.
why.
Punch once and they're dead.
Yeah, I don't get why in Minecraft when a slime gets to 1, it dies from stubbing its toe. It makes no sense. It's like first it was this massive gelatin that was legitimately hard to fight. Now if it falls 1 block, it will disintegrate.
Yeah. But then you look at magma cubes and they can still very much hurt you in their small form.
Ruin the world of the nether.
Yeah. Hey, I'm only 2 hearts away with Penny because I've been siphoning flowers from you.
As soon as full, I was like, okay. We good. Oh, what's up, boy? Stupid rock crab. Guess I gotta move slightly. I'm going to chop you in half, you bitch. Man. A lot of... Hey, coming back to me.
I'm trying to think if salmon was the only other fish you needed. Sea cucumber, that's right.
Yeah.
I think that was also
Yesterday it was like Earth Crystal. Sure, we'll give you 2 of them. Today it's like
full.
single.
It must have been a lucky day yesterday because I usually don't find them that easy myself.
I normally find 1 or 2, but not like right out the bat.
Yeah.
There's another one. Back up, bro. Hey, no, Dougie's are some strong sons of bitches. Holy fuck. 2 hits from my sword. Hey, I needed a yam. That was actually useful.
Nice.
That bug shouldn't. It's like, anything at this level should view me like the fucking... Stay the fuck away from me. I got a big stick, and they're very small.
I saw a meme on Facebook. It was the Kermit the Frog Kermit the Frog looking out at like a rainy window. He goes, I just heard thunder, but you know, it's 2020, so for all I know it could be Godzilla.
Oh, I saw the funniest one I've seen was like, everyone's so worried about 2020. I'm starting to think that the SCP Foundation has a breach. It's like we're all just being fucked with mentally, and we just don't realize it. I mean, you get deep in those SCPs, and there's some end of the world scenarios in those.
There's a TikTok channel that keeps popping up on my For You, It's a guy playing Minecraft, but he's got an SCP mod, so he's doing everything he can to avoid 06. So he like surrounded himself in like command blocks. Couldn't get through them.
That would be the worst enemy in the world.
Yeah.
He would see you look once, and you blocked.
Yep. There was one someone suggested, they're like, build a glass prison around yourself and put lava around it. So he did, and it still went through the lava. Lava did not stop it, blasted through the glass.
Like, guys, did you not read his file? He literally fucking tunneled through a containment, through the desert, all the way down into the Marianas Trench, through the side of a fucking submarine at depth to kill a guy. Do you think lava's gonna give two fucks? That fool mate was it 867, the big lizard son of a bitch?
Mm-hmm.
They talked about their encounter where the fact that neither of them can kill each other, and they had to neutralize, like basically 96 neutralizes 867 by, destroying him enough that he's regenerating, and then 96 just sat there. Like that was the end of it. It was like, okay.
Storms tomorrow, by the way.
867 has a fun, on the SCP animated channel I follow on YouTube, they did one about his only file that is really interesting is about the little girl. Have you read that one?
Mm-mm.
So 867 at one point comes in contact with just a normal little girl and doesn't harm her. He becomes like best friends with her, protects her and everything. And they could never understand why he didn't do what he did with everyone else. Because he's killed children before, like it's been reported, but this little girl was something about it. They don't know if maybe it's because she actually showed compassion instead of fear or what, but he's a crazy little tale about him. Or it. I don't know if it's a male or female.
Yeah, I don't.
Giant lizard.
I'd say 096 is probably my favorite SCP, but the Plague Doctor is definitely an interesting one.
See, as I've read more into him, probably my favorite one that's maybe weird is the death dude, the guy who comes and sees you in your final hours.
Yeah. Isn't he like codenamed the Sandman or something?
Yeah, it's something I don't remember exactly, but to me it just seems like Johnny Cash would be sitting there. He's completely harmless. He does a good thing, but it's one of those things when you read it, you're like, "Whoa, that's slightly trippy." At the same time. SCP-3000 is my least favorite. I'm
That's
with Mark.
The big fish one.
I can't do water, especially deep fucking water. Even the animated one would just send chills up my spine. There's too many good ones to really
Something.
Why
The one I find the most unsettling, weirdly enough, is the ear bear. I don't know why.
I think the noise. The noise of your whole body growing ears.
Yeah.
This is something that I read about it in like one of the forums. It was like, did anyone think about how intense sounds would become in the movie? I like at the end, because obviously I don't know if you'd be dead.
Typically, they said these people die because it blocks their airwaves and grows in their lungs and stuff like that.
That makes sense. But just the intense sound for the first 5 minutes would be brutal, or however long. Because it'd almost be like, if you had like an oversensitive, reminds me of with the pale white kid who has like telekinetic powers or some shit. A powder?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Reminds me of him because he has like an issue with high frequencies. I think the Plague Doctor is one of the more interesting pleasures.
Yeah, because he actually talks and everything.
doesn't actually kill people. They don't. He just, well, you're gonna die, but he sends you to a different dimension. It's not like he, well, who knows what the pestilence is? That's the real question.
Yeah.
Or does he actually care?
Did you make these 4 pink cakes after realizing Haley need them, or do you just have them?
I just had them there. She's one of many people who liked pink cakes. I believe those are back from when I was making friends with Jazz. Yeah, the witch doctor is interesting because of the fact he talks.
Yeah.
When you actually read his story and realize he's not really a doctor. So. I don't know, I'd honestly have to say, if I was to put, like, out of all of the tales I have read, it's the tragedy mask that really is.
Yeah.
It's just in how it is a sentient being itself, but refuses to really move. Even though it can, it's been reported smashing into its container.
The supercomputer's kind of fascinating, but it's kind of an overdone trope too, so.
I believe it's talking about supposed Cold War era computer that was similar to that. All the SCPs are based off of some reality, I would assume. 9-6, I've read that people believe he was created by somebody who maybe dealt with schizophrenia. I was talking about one of the many things. Something people can deal with is that constant feeling like they're being followed or watched, mixed with paranoia and all that. So there's so many.
I do like how Slenderman himself is not an SCP, but the stories of Slenderman are.
I think it's something with the Foundation talks about, like, if it's a originated with a creepypasta like Siren Head or whatever, they don't. Because to become an SCP, to be part of the Foundation, you have to be. It's not like someone just writes a story. There's actually a foundation of people who vote everything in. That's why there's no SCP-1, technically. Even though a lot of people believe it's that big angel, guardian of the world, whatever her name is.
Kami?
Have you seen what people are like the believed SCP-1 is?
Yeah, I've seen some animated ones about it.
But I believe the real story was when they started the website, they had this huge contest for people to submit to be SCP-001, and there was just so much that they didn't feel it was right to actually give it a spot. Because a lot of those became like the first 100 SCPs.
Dragon Ball Z Abridged, there's a moment where the Z fighters are all talking and they mention Kami. And Vegeta's like, what the fuck's a Kami? And they're like, well, he's essentially God. And Vegeta goes, I'm right here. And Trunks goes, do you really believe you're hype that much? And Vegeta goes, I am the hype.
That's a Vegeta thing, though, for sure.
I was actually rewatching because some of the funniest moments come from the abridged Android saga. They did the fight between Android 18 and Vegeta, where Android 18 just kind of demolishes Vegeta, and she kicks him into a wall. And he goes, "Did someone get the number of that bitch that hit me?" And she goes, 18. He goes, "Thank you." And then Krillin goes, "Are you okay?" He goes, "Fuck you."
That's hilarious. It's the one interesting thing. I've never watched it, but with the whole SCP thing, you know, they did that bullshit where that Russian dude tried to copyright everything.
Yeah.
So apparently, they were working on making him an SCP, like making a funny story about him, about how similar to Site 7. I believe the Tokyo site that got completely destroyed by the fucking gnarly monster that I don't remember now. It was supposed to be like, it was supposed to be an SCP that breached and caused like a containment of the computer system or whatever. But then they were like, I guess decided it wasn't a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny when you read into how many SCP sites have actually been completely demolished. Got a handful of them.
One of them apparently was haunted by My Little Pony.
Yep. Some weird ones. But even what are they? The horrific little furry things you had as a kid. What the fuck are they called?
Like little furry things I had as a kid.
Yeah, you know, the little robotic. Furbies.
Furby?
Yeah. Furby, there's an SCP about Furbies, which I'm sure happened around the same time as Five Nights. But yeah.
I mean,
It
there
relates
was...
them to not being animatronics, but being extra or other dimensional species that has masked themselves as these to basically capture humans. A bunch of fucked up things.
I still remember when Furbies were first coming out and everything, and everyone was afraid they were going to be like used as spy devices because they could repeat stuff. I'm like, it's quite interesting.
Apparently the government just did it with pigeons. Why the fuck would they care about? Well, you know, it's funny how people say that. Like, it's using spy devices, it can repeat you, and then everyone's got a dot sitting in their goddamn living room.
Yeah.
Something like that now.
Oh, I missed my chance to go to the Wandering Trader to see if she had maple syrup. Still short one. These trees aren't cooperating. I guess I should get... Yeah. Guess I should get some iridium bars smelting.
Well, I mean, actual maple syrup takes
This is... Okay.
an ungodly number of processes to make.
We've already got 7 iridium bars smelted currently, so I just need more.
I have 2 in my inventory. I don't know, I'm just holding on to 2 bars.
I mean, we got over 300 ores, so...
I'm counting, 'cause I have 200. I have 28.
Hopefully these starfruit get done tomorrow or the day after.
See, back on the whole SCP thing, I saw what was a not thought through idea. Someone was like, an SCP D&D game, where you roll dice and it determines which SCP you deal with. First off, there's over 5,000 of them, so
Yeah.
I don't know which fucking dice you're rolling for that. Second off, you get a 9 and a 6 and you're done. That's the end of it. I was like, there's a whole bunch of SCPs that have no way of being killed, so I don't know how you would implement that into
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I had thought about you doing a paper and pencil game like that, but that you get your own SCP, custom SCP that like is like a respawn ring or something that brings you back from dead. And I thought about if doing it randomized, you just go to like the wiki and do random SCP if you're wanting like a random room.
Either that, or, I mean, doing it that way would work, or you'd have to be a little more selective in the SCPs.
Yeah.
There's a lot you could use, it's just there's also a lot that would be very pointless. Because you could basically play a D&D game like the actual video game where you're not trying to kill them, you're trying to do things to recontain
Yeah.
things like
That was kind of the thought when I was thinking of it too. Not so much like a D&D campaign, but like a paper and pen version of Containment Breach.
which would be a great board game. Yeah, because with like Radical Larry, that would be...
Yeah. Of course, Larry would have to be one who was in it no matter what, and Billy.
Yeah, so what's that? 6 of that. enough time to deal with you idiots. That would just be interesting to do that, though. Where you just roll a number and you get, like, the hole in the wall. It's like, what do you put in there? Your sword? You gotta
there would be there would be some that you would have to come up with custom rules, though, on the fly. Because if you, like, did random and you got the staircase, I'm like, well, I'm going to have to stick another SCP in here just to kill you.
Yeah. Well, I mean... You're talking about the staircase that that just keeps going down.
Yeah.
Because it's like when people get to like 200 flights down or something, they see the face.
Mm-hmm.
And most people don't die from that. They die from literal exhaustion running back up all the stairs.
Yeah.
Which sounds so terrible. And remember, that would be something that you could reoccur because as they sent more people down those stairs, the stairs themselves started to change. The guy was met with a whole floor completely destroyed. So. That would be the interesting thing, though, is you would have to do a fair amount of research into all the SCPs.
Yeah.
Or at least the ones you Debug Custom, thanks for this. Yes, include cashback. Put all these iridium bars in
The black chest. Yep. Sometimes they just run if they have a free path for some reason.
I feel like he's just like, I'm gonna go after this.
There was one time I had Trillises that were out of reach. I'm like, oh, that one's actually going for the Trillis. Nope, he just ran into it and turned around. I'm like, oh, okay. Well. Why am I still petting your guys? Everyone except Reptar has full hearts.
So heavily into
They might be. They look like they might be on the final stage.
Back into the mines we go. My old home away from home.
Get your pickaxe swinging side to side.
Sometimes.
I remember to pick your flowers tomorrow too. And tomorrow is the Moonlight Jellies.
See, I could see an SCP board game would be a good idea. It'd be a doozy to make.
It'd have to be one of those board games where the layout always changes.
Because like the Magic the Gathering board game I have, the board is set up in like 12 pieces. It really is more like a really simplified version of D&D. That's basically what you have to do. Is just build a board that you assemble yourself. Like that's different thing. Or there's even games like Oregon Trail game. It has you build the road as you're going. So you could always drew like floor cards that you randomly laid down, and those are the layout of the floor that you went across or something. But that's just just the concept of the SCPs, I think, fits well into something like that, because you can really mess with people.
Yeah.
You ran into Billy. You have 3 seconds to roll and get the fuck out of this room. Because he don't play no games. Or make him actually not blink until it's their turn again.
The unglued and yeah.
That's when Unglued took itself to a new level when it was like, how can we really mess with people? It's like, make them do actual things physically.
Yeah, I always had
Sit there
hand.
for almost an hour with your goddamn hands on top of each other.
I had handcuffs and Varrock's motion sensors, so you were handcuffed and had to balance the card.
Yeah, we got real good at that until we were like, oh, fuck this.
Yeah. What was I doing? Why did I go into town? I forget.
Just like all around town. Oh, what's next season's crops? Pumpkin, artichoke, and yam, and some hamburgers. I need to look tomorrow and everything I'm buying.
Krobus, why did I come here? You got Tom Kasu.
Ah, it smells great down here, Crocus.
Came into town for a reason. I can't remember.
Every time I hear the name of that soup, it makes me think of a Tony Jaa movie, even though that was not the name. Well, the Protector, its name in Thailand was Tom Yum Goong, which is a rice. It's like a rice noodle dish. It's actually the dish he orders in the movie, which I believe is what his name is. I think it's also the dish he sees them eating of like the exotic animals. As most countries would not understand why it was called Tom Yum Goong because that is literally a Thai dish. So that I didn't really even know anything about until I actually Googled it. So.
Seriously, what the fuck did I come into town for? I don't remember.
We need to build a giant statue of Fearless. We need to blow it up. Tyler Durden style.
Project Mayhem.
I love how in that movie you're just like, oh yeah, Project Mayhem, that's just vandalism and stuff. And then at the end of it, he blows up the city. It's like, what the fuck? Also, my mind, it hurts. That movie did really good at messing with your head.
Yeah, I watched a What Culture list recently. It was 10 movies that you didn't realize you were following the bad guy. That was one of them.
Yep. Was it the literal fact that you're sitting there watching these two people do all of these things, and at the same time, it seems like the whole world is interacting with both of them, just to find out this crazy motherfucker has just been having the worst case of DID in the world,
Yeah.
and it's created this huge false reality. He beat the shit out of himself. That was the point when I was like, wow, this is
Yeah.
level messed up.
You realize, though, throughout the movie, you never see anyone interact with both of them.
And see, I didn't realize that until after I saw, like, it flashed back. And I'm like,
Yeah.
they filmed this so well that you feel like it the whole time, though. You feel like everyone is following, both of them separately, in a way.
Like,
Then you realize that...
the only time that they're both interacting with people is during the Fight Club meetings. And no one's paying attention to the narrator, just Tyler.
Because there's many times when they're in the same room interacting with each other, and you realize it's just like him inside his head.
Yeah.
Which is just the most mind-fucking. I don't want to kill slime. You're making me do it. I mean, I've watched some real mindfuck movies. Anything that David Lynch has his name on is just... Well, there's one called Existence, and it's a really good movie, but it's like basically a take on modern society because it's talking about people who escape reality by going into a video game. But this video game, the machine is like, it almost looks like something that would come out of your body. And it a port that's on like directly on your spine, and it's very.
So it's the Matrix.
If the Matrix was a lot more body horror. There's one point where Jude Law's character is sitting in a Chinese restaurant. And they start bringing him his food and blah, blah, blah. And he just gets this urge to start digging through this fish and whatnot. And he builds a gun out of all the guts of this fish. The bullets are like human. The clip's like a human jaw. And he ends up shooting a guy in the head and whatnot. And it's like the most trippy, surreal movie. And the fact that half the time, because it's a video game that they're in, people don't react to like other people being shot and whatnot. Well, you come to find out in the end that what he thought was a game is actually reality. The thing that he's been plugging himself into. It's very. You would have a hard time watching it.
Yeah, I can imagine.
We did another one called Videodrome, where it's basically about. That one's a little more hard to follow, but at one point this dude starts like coming out of the TV. It's like the most. It was very uncomfortable to watch. But I basically looked up a list of like most disturbing movies. Watch them. So. Where I found the golden gems of Takeshi Miike.
Egypt sent me it was just a random clip of a random movie. And it's just like these two Asian girls, and it's got background music, so it doesn't actually have like the movie soundtrack and all that. They're just talking to each other, and then one girl like bends over, and there's this face in her panties where her butt is, and it just starts killing the other two girls. I looked it up. The movie's literally called Bad Butt. I'm like, I kind of want to see this.
So, one, I don't know if you ever watched it, there's an anthology movie, it was on Netflix, I don't know.
ABCs of Death.
ABC's Death.
Yeah.
The,
They compared that to it.
Well, I believe the director did a scene in there, because there's a scene where a girl kills another girl, like, it's the weirdest chain suicide of people farting on other people.
Yeah, that's one they brought up a lot when I was trying to look up and see where the movie came from. They're like, is it the fart one from ABCs of Death? Everyone's like, no, it's actually its own movie.
Because the ABCs of Death combined a bunch of directors. And I would not be surprised if he was the same guy.
Possibly, yeah.
The first guy, I can't remember if it's the first, because there's two of them, I believe, but the first scene is so funny. Okay, this guy's like tied to a bed. This girl keeps coming in, and she's literally like, he's clearly a zombie, because she's like hitting him with frying pans and cutting his hands in half and whatnot. And he's still alive. He's not like regenerating. And then one point she throws like boiling fucking oil on him. I was like, oh, I mean, it was graphic detail of what this thing would do. This is awesome. I also can only think of Kevin Nash in the Russian.
Actually, you've seen the guy in My Hero Academia whose hair is half white, half red. He's got two quirks, one from his mom, one from his dad. They're fire and ice. And his dad's kind of a dick. He's the fire dude I sent you the picture of. And his mom becomes to resent him, so she can't stand looking at the fire side of him. And if you ever notice, Todoroki is his name. He's got like this red spot over his eye, kind of like Zuko from Avatar. It's because his mom couldn't stand looking at that side of his face, so she threw boiling hot water at him.
Yeah, Japan's fucked up, man. I'm telling you. Even though I think this was like a Spanish director did it, but God, that would just be the worst.
I'm pretty sure.
Boiling anything.
I'm pretty sure in Machine Girl, one of the ways she kills some of the parents who helped the kids helped out the kids that killed her brother is what's it called when you bread things and like bread the shrimp and stuff and throw them?
tempura. Yeah,
Yeah.
tempora's their hands.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember that. I was watching that. I was like, that's the most ridiculous, but so Japanese. I was like, 'cause Japan has its levels when it comes to its ridiculousness. Like, I enjoy Takeshi Miike's stuff because he is very over the top with his, very much what you like, the blood, like the stupid, horrendous sprays,
water
of blood,
hose of blood. Yeah.
Yeah. But then he does a movie like fucking Ichi the Killer that is like a sexually driven serial killer in a weird way. And it just completely changes your thoughts of how the hell. Marnie, my inventory is full, so I'm just gonna. I didn't mean to throw that hay away, but I did. That's how much I care. I just tossed it because my inventory is full.
Yeah, I am weirdly particularly fond of Tokyo Shock movies.
It's just a different, you know. For me, with movies, the more campy, gory, ridiculous it is. Why did Demetrius send me a thing with a
It's always Demetrius for that one. Yeah.
Because especially with like Tokyo Tribe is not as ridiculous as Ichi the Killer or As the Gods Will It. I guess I can say Takeshi Miike has done some real serious, because there's Harkaro, which is
Sounds familiar.
yeah, it's basically talks about one of the samurai.
Oh, okay, yeah, I know that.
And it's a lot more serious, but he also has like 160 some movies that his name is accredited to. Because he's one of those directors where everyone's just like, hey, you want to film this? Okay. He's like a Tarantino, I guess I should say. He
Yeah.
represents a lot of things. I'm gonna send that one Earth Crystal away, so I'm just gonna head to the mine.
I don't think the Moonlight Jellies start till 10.
Yeah. I don't know. For me, with movies, Japan still does a lot with like practical effects. That's a big seller for me.
Mm.
If I've ever talked about the movie Scanners to you,
Yeah, you have.
I love practical.
Every time you talk, I remember because every time you talk about it, all I think about is a Scanner Darkly.
That's when the first time I heard that too. I'm like, they're talking about Scanner Darkly, but no, they're like a literal almost 20-year gap between the two movies.
Yeah.
It's just like when you hear about a movie going to the point where like, yeah, we made a fake head with a real skull, shoved a shotgun in it, and disintegrated that son of a bitch. It's like, okay, yeah, I believe that head actually exploded. Or like, you hear people, even though I'm not a big fan of supernatural movies, literally the only ghost movies I watch are Ghost Ship and 13 Ghosts, which anyone who actually watches paranormal movies would probably not call them real ghost movies.
Yeah. I mean, those are
Like
some of my
See.
favorite. I do like the Paranormal Activity movies, but that's about it.
I'm a creature kind of guy, so I like to see what's killing everybody.
I'm usually typically more zombie or slasher.
I like the creatures. Gnarlier the better.
Give me a Ghostface or Freddy Krueger.
Gremlins. And Alien. They added Pumpkinhead to Netflix. I saw that. I can't watch. I have to be very selective when I watch movies like that, because ain't no way in hell my son would be okay with that. That's one of those sci-fi movies that when you think about it, you're like, that was legitimately scary. Legitimately would not want to meet that individual. Also, he's like born from a hex or a curse or something, so he's not really
I do like the people who are like, oh, fuck, what's his name? Robert Englund's in this. He was the original Freddy Krueger. This will be a good movie. Then you realize Robert Englund pretty much will be in any kind of horror movie, no matter. Yeah.
He's a big supporter of like indie directors. But even like 2001 Maniacs was like very low rated on Rotten Tomato, and I remember like reading a lot. I was like, why was Robert Englund in this? And I just realized, why not be in it?
Yeah. You're like,
Literally-
what movies has he been in? Strippers versus Zombie. What?
Well, that's the funny thing too. Like Friday the 13th, when it was made, or Nightmare on Elm Street, wrong slasher, was not like a big budget slasher movie. You know, most of those were until like the first two were pretty cheaply made. Obviously,
Yeah.
when you get Wes Craven involved and stuff like that, things start to get a lot better.
Oh no, I
But were
apologize.
made.
He wasn't in Strippers versus Zombies. He was in Strippers versus Werewolves. He was in Zombie Strippers.
Which is a very strange
Yeah.
movie.
Especially since he plays a germaphobe in it.
Yes. Well, that's like when Quentin Tarantino is in any of his movies. You know he gonna die. You know
Yeah.
he gonna be weird. But you know it's not gonna be any place he should be. And if he's in a Robert Rodriguez movie, you guarantee he's dying pretty soon.
Yeah.
Those two are not kind to each other. Promise. Slime power. I don't know how you feel. Wow, that fucking the Dougie made me think the slime hurt me. Dougie popped out right anything. I definitely was the slasher person though, growing up. 'Cause I even watched Jason X.
Yeah.
For those that know it was pretty bad. Alright, I got your 10 Earth crystals.
Awesome. Not quite to 1,000,000 yet, but should be.
I have to go into the mine just to find shit just to give the dwarf. Now let's hit.
I mean, granted, I think Robert Englund became more famous than other slashers just because a lot of slashers, you don't really see their faces. Except for Freddy.
Because I believe the guy who originally played Jason is pretty famous between horror fans, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And the guy who played Leatherface played Jason in some of the later movies. But I think
These-
he also was somebody who was like,
Yeah. These new Starfruit wines, are we just selling them now?
yeah, we won't have enough time to age them all. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Out of the old heyday of slashers, he was really the only one.
I mean, I rewatched the original Child's Play too, and it's weird actually seeing the voice come out of the actual actor because you're so used to associating it with Chucky.
Which that guy's like a pretty well-known villain actor too.
Hmm.
I just can't get over the concept that you had one of those creepy sons of bitches as a kid.
I really-
"Oh, dog."
Really did not care for the new Child's Play, which is the newest one. I was eager to see it because I'm a fan of the originals, and it's got Audrey Plaza in it, who I like. But they took Chucky from like a spirit possessed doll of a serial killer and turned him into a smart toy that kind of just went all AI.
Yeah, it's trying to modern age. You know,
Yeah.
trying to keep the concept alive. It's like if they did Freddy, like revamped it, he would still be a pedophile. Just the way that he was found out would not be through,
Yeah,
you know, the cops. It'd be through the internet.
yeah. I mean, Rob Zombie tried to revamp him. He went a little too hardcore on the pedophile angle, though, so.
Rob Zombie, just direct horror movies. House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, amazing movies. House of a Thousand Corpses literally was one of the first movies that I had watched in a long time that I could say legit spooked me a bit. That
I
made
mean-
me laugh.
I think he needs to stick to his original ideas because his revamps just aren't as good. As Friday the 13th or his which other one did he? Halloween weren't that great.
I like them. Okay, I'll put that there for now. What do I need to grab?
Or was it Halloween or did he redo Texas Chainsaw?
It was
remember. Okay.
It was Halloween.
Someone redid Texas Chainsaw.
A lot of people have redone it. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like if someone decided to redo Reservoir Dogs. It was the cheapest goddamn movie when it was made. So to try and put a bunch of money into it is not... It doesn't always pan out. It's just one of those movies that you should make cheap. You shouldn't try and make it fancy. You should just make it. But again, I would rather see real effects than fake ones, and that's something you don't really get.
Yesterday it was untold stories behind Jurassic Park, and some of them were just funny little Easter eggs, like in the Lost World at the end, with there's the Jurassic Park logo, but some of it's covered in mud, so it literally just says "Your Ass Park," which funny little things like that. But like, I guess since it was raining, the T-Rex would malfunction every so often, so it would just go off while the crew was like eating. Are we not going to the midnight jellies?
Oh, I forgot.
So the crew would just be like eating on their break, and suddenly the T-Rex goes off. Scares the shit out of all of them.
Well, it's like the scene where it
We do have a
punches
beach warp
through
totem.
the scene where it punches through the glass when kids are inside. That was not scripted at all. That just happened because the damn thing weighed so much.
Yeah.
And on top of it, just...
That
Yeah, because
was
I
one
remember
of the
watching
things.
that where it's like the T-Rex was only like the head and one arm or like a shoulder. And that was it, but it just, fucked up all the time. Yep. Let's watch the jellies. That's why I like getting Blu-rays though. You get more out of them. Unless they're made in China. Then you don't understand what's being said anyways. A lot of my martial arts movies, I'm like, oh, I'll watch the special features. Oh, they didn't subtitle the special features.
That's some of the funny things, like band I watch videos of called Kitty in a Casket on YouTube, and I watch their videos all the time, and one time they were doing like this YouTube live, so I'm like, oh, I'll tune into that. Totally forgot they're a German band, so I jumped in. I'm like, I don't know what's being said right now.
Yep. Well, that's what I always love, like, on the Ip Man. The first one doesn't... Or no, the first one has, like, all subtitled except for one part. And it's, like, Donnie Yen explaining his fighting technique or something. There he is. His fighting technique, but he's talking so fast, and he's doing movements at the same time. I feel like just the guy translating was like, I cannot. I have no idea what he just said.
Like that Kakashi TikTok I sent you today.
Oh my god, that was good. And so I'm like, this is like when Rock Lee took off his leg weights for the first time and everything. Fuck.
Yeah.
Well, you know Kakashi's that way, though. It's like, yeah, I don't do much, and then when I need to kick ass, I do it at the speed of fucking sound.
Yeah. That Rock Lee, though, always shows up in, like, anime's biggest flexes list.
I've seen that one and Piccolo's right next to each other. I forgot Piccolo did it first. Of course.
Now I remember what was happening in Dragon Ball Z Abridged, now that you mention that. What brought up Vegeta asking about Kami is it's when the Android Saga, after they fuse back together, Vegeta's like, Namek, too strong, why? And that's when he starts explaining it.
See, that's one of those moments when people they're like, well, look what Rock Lee did. It's like, yeah, Piccolo did it first. And that's when I'm like, yeah, but the Matrix wasn't the first one to dodge a bullet, but no one did.
Yeah.
So let's not nitpick. I got in a conversation about that with somebody. It was when I was working at O'Reilly's. I remember who it was. He was like, yeah, the Matrix did it first, and he was like, showing me time. I'm like, look up the first Blade movie. Yeah, it came out the year I was born.
Well, and I know a lot of people credit to that Asian movie, The Hard Boiled.
Yeah.
I think it's fun. A lot of people credit that for being the first one.
He does some slow-mo. I wouldn't call it like bullet time dodging a bullet though.
I've never actually watched it, so.
It's a Chow Yun Fat.
Yeah. I remember us getting the video game when I worked at Blockbuster and then hearing it was terrible.
Terrible. It wasn't. It's like when they made a Bruce Lee game on Xbox 360. Like, this is a good idea. It really wasn't.
Yeah. I like remember hearing about the Fight Club game. They're like, it had so much promise, then it was just so bland. And then you get to unlock the secret characters and realize for some goddamn reason, one of the secret characters is Fred Durst.
Yeah, he had a weird thing with like working his way into fighting games.
Yeah.
Because he was in like one of the like street fighting, like gangster ones too.
Yeah. Def Jam.
No one did secret characters like Tony Hawk. Play as a slab.
That was actually, I think it was a list of ridiculous secret characters, and one of them was like Dracula from Castlevania. You could unlock him. I think it was in Tony Hawk Underground 2.
Talk about ridiculous characters. Run through Raccoon City as that block on the bucket.
I think that was on the list too.
That was like the funniest thing. It's like, you unlocked a special mode. What? Tofu.
It's one of the hardest things to
knife?
unlock too.
It's like, I get a knife and that's it. We need to talk about this here.
Don't forget to get flowers this time.
It's like when I heard they were remaking Code Veronica. And I was like, oh god. That was probably literally everyone's opinion of the hardest fucking Resident Evil game. And you're gonna remake that bitch? If I start in a cemetery with a knife again, I'm gonna lose, bitch.
Yeah, I remember people being kind of iffy or angry because they were talking about remaking 4, and before that, everyone's like, okay, 4 is already on the newest gen console. Why aren't you giving us that one and not the older ones?
True. But, 4 really needed a bit of was that fucking fair? Did you get us
It was unwieldy and didn't respond well.
impossible to hold correctly?
Yeah.
We can carry on. Like if they thought, okay, we'll make a chainsaw into a controller. It's a great idea. Where do the buttons go? It's just
Yeah.
a spot. It's fine one. They'll fit on there somewhere.
Which,
I always
I mean,
wanted it, and then I watched people play with it, and I'm like, oh, ooh, that's a
it makes sense because of the character that uses the chainsaw, but like, it would have made more sense if Lollipop Chainsaw did that versus Resident Evil.
Well, that was kind of at the time when games were doing like the ridiculous
Yeah.
add-on.
I mean,
Stuff
granted.
like Dead Island.
Yeah, there's that
Fucking
one.
case was like half a human body.
And they also had like the parkour training course thing. Granted, nothing really tops the Wub Wub pack of Saints Row that was like $1 million.
That someone did actually buy. Like, there was like, they sold one of them, I think.
I do wish when I pre-ordered mine, that I would have got the special edition with the dubstep gun. I wish I would have done that now, but
Also the literal thing you almost show when it comes to miniatures collecting. The halo that came with this.
that was a funny thing too, though. Is like the first time they offered that, I heard someone's like, "Yeah, you can wear it if you're the size of a house cat."
Like, well, this thing literally houses the game inside of it. So I don't think you're gonna be able to wear that. But it is. I believe a lot of people did do. Right after that, you started seeing people in like full fucking Master Chief armor.
I still remember the craze of the Pip-Boy that wasn't really a Pip-Boy. It was just like a strap for your phone. Yeah, people still went fucking ballistic over it.
You gotta have something to. You got the Pip-Boy app. You need to have something. I saw a TikTok where a girl got a Brotherhood helmet. She got one that was all new, pull it out.
I think he sent me that one actually.
Yeah. $900 fully functional helmet. I'm like, that's badass, but what the fuck would you spend $900 on that for?
Yeah.
Look at yourself. Damn.
That's when you go to a cosplayer and they're like, just buy me some foam, give me 2 days.
Yeah. Well, this one, I think the big thing with this one is it had like lights and setup.
I do remember that TikTok though, and it was like way too big for her.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've seen people who have done like Warhammer guys, done cosplays of that, and the little girls who are just swimming in a suit. Which is, it's probably how it really would be. Okay, I'm gonna put your Earth crystals in the first chest.
Okay. Oh, we do have over 1 million now, so.
There's a strong man I watch, his name's Eddie Hall. He's a British guy, but he has these shoes. The one says over and the other one says 9,000.
Nice.
Eddie's a true champion.
That was one thing I found funny with Ronda Rousey in WWE. It's like what she wore all the time was over 9,000 shirts.
I don't know much about her UFC, but I think that had something to do with her. I think something she said a lot too.
Yeah.
Obviously, anyone who's anyone knows it's a goddamn Dragon Ball reference.
Yeah.
But Vegeta's like most.
Which was actually a
And he was a
translation
bad guy.
fail. If I remember correctly, it was actually like, I think it's not too far off. I think it was actually like over 7,000 or 8,000 or something like that. But it actually is different from the untranslated version.
See, there's funny things happen like that. You know how the Japanese say Japan?
Nippon.
Yeah. So that's the way someone who's Japanese would say Japan, right? That's what they call Japan. Japan is the crudely translated and horribly misunderstood pronunciation of that through the Spanish, then to the Americans.
Nice.
The guy who played the original second original Red Ranger, not the very first Red Ranger, but the guy who takes his place. I don't know what his actual name is. I follow his TikTok though, and they give him so much shit for the way he says things. And one of his TikToks, he was like, "You guys realize I like lived in Japan while filming pictures?" Because they're like giving him crap on his pronunciation and saying that's not right, and he was like, "No, you're pretty wrong." Yeah.
Stand by the obelisk.
I can see him.
Boom. Magic.
That's just a little bit. It's not there, but it's there now. It's there.
Yeah, once you
Because I
walk
was
away.
standing behind it.
Yeah.
I was standing behind it.
Well, now we have all the obelisk.
The only thing left is a fuck all expensive clock that has no purpose.
And the return scepters, but one of those cost twice as much as those obelisks.
Well, we don't need them anyways.
Yeah.
Who's here? Who's here? No one I need to fucking see. God damn it. Come up, man, please.
Still have a chest full of Christmas trees.
Yep. Winter's coming.
It's a month away, but
Apparently, I can only put them in my house. So. Okay, let me see. I got a little time here.
Okay, so starting tomorrow, I will work on getting a salmon and a sea cucumber for you. Actually, multiple salmon.
That's a dish I don't have yet, but that is Jody. That's the fucking ice cream that I don't have
That's from Jody, I believe.
yet. Jody. Ooh, can you get tuna?
I think I put some in your refrigerator already, actually. Do you need it?
Oh.
Did you sell it, possibly?
Yes.
Let me see if I can still get it.
I just got that recipe from
I'll be able to get it in winter. It's a summer and winter dish.
Oh, I forgot fish can have multiple seasons.
Yeah.
So in theory, this right here, the seafoam pudding, is the only thing that should be hard for me to make.
Yeah.
I just gotta wait till the night market to make that one. I need to go get sugar. Fuck me, I forgot to do that when I was there. I need to buy stuff.
I'm seeing. Let's see. No, I kept flour and oil. I don't have sugar. I think I sold everything that we can buy from here.
Yeah. I think I just used all the sugar I had. I got a bunch of beet seeds, but I'm not growing beets.
It's funny, before on first days of seasons, I would barely get anything done helping. Now we're just like, okay, now what?
Yeah, I guess that part of the day.
It's your wife's birthday. Just walk back to go grab a rose. Poppy, I mean.
There you go. Yeah. Yes. I'm gonna try and grow some giant pumpkins, Minnie. No promises. Because them bitches be hard. Got some wine.
I got caviar.
That'll be the fun.
Bougie as fuck.
You decide to leave the valley. Thanks, Shane. You go to see him. You walk into the house. You see a wall of wine. Like, have you been hoarding all of that? First off, damn, Lewis. Okay, chocolate cake for Jody, I believe. Yep. And Miss Caroline is a bitch. So. Diamond. She actually likes fish tacos, but fucking hell.
You haven't actually unlocked that one yet, have you? Wasn't that a Linus one?
I just unlocked it. He gave it to
Yeah.
me.
Oh, and
Yes,
that's what
I-
needed the tuna.
Mhm.
I could keep an eye on Krobus too.
What day is that? Wednesday?
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
I will talk to you. But I have nothing to give you. Our friendship
That's-
is at best.
does give a little bit of friendship just talking, so.
That's why every time I give someone a gift, I immediately talk to them afterwards.
Yeah.
If I really want to talk about the person I'm not that good of friends with, it's Haley, because I only have literally one heart with her. So Abigail, I'm not that good of friends with you either.
She's kind of like the Alex of the female version of Alex. She's overlooked, which is funny because they're actually a story couple.
When you give people diamonds, they're like, are you sure? Like, no. Diamond back. Rethink it later.
Doomageddon, get out of the way.
Stardew Valley, actually. Peter Pan's
I mean, our children did grow up a little bit, so.
This is true. Those kids never grow up. Which, by the way, on Netflix or Hulu, I'm not sure. There's a movie called Pan, which is like the story of Peter before he became.
Isn't that the Robin Williams one?
No, that's called Hook.
Oh, Hook. That's
Pan is
right,
it's a newer one that was made recently, and yeah, it's more like talking about him helping Captain Hook before he was Captain Hook. Like the story you hear about they blah blah blah, and then the thing he gets handed whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's about Peter Pan and Hook outwitting this other bigger, gnarlier captain. It's actually quite interesting because it's not very much. It's more like a teenager movie than it is a kid movie. If you want to play a cruel joke on Lewis, give him warts. He might not forgive you, though I think he might be allergic. That's fucked up, Barney. Literally telling me how to mess with Mayor Lewis. I need to look into your events, though, 'cause I got both of you funny as fucking events.
That's a tilapia.
Alright. Oh, tilapia. I've seen you. I guess I can go work my way up to rabbit. Tilaps. What's up? There you are, Leah. Have that. Got my sword. Yeah, just pull it out randomly. That's not an innuendo, I literally. By my sword. That'd be funny. What did you just say to her? It's like, no, do that.
She was your wife in a previous life.
She just looks at you. What the fuck did you just say? Not bad. Dimensional travel. We'll not talk about that. I mean, I wasn't in a completely different universe.
Wibbly wobbly, timey, limey.
So there's a CP that is so funny. It talks about the red phone booth in London, and about how weird interdimensional things happen inside of it. Like if you go inside of it, you never come back out. And then there's like basically it's like someone wanted the Doctor to be an SCP. That's fucking. The Doctor to be an SCP, but also didn't want them to realize. So they like talks about there's a doctor who helps you, but if you're not, it's very similar like the Pestilence Doctor, and that if you're not like worthy in some way, he just kills you. It's like, well, the Doctor has killed quite a lot of things.
I love there's a comic. It shows Superman in London, and London gets attacked, so he runs to a phone booth to change. And you just see Superman trying to get his pants off, and the Doctor standing behind him with his arms crossed.
You poor fool.
I've also seen one of those like superhero text messages where I forget who's talking, or it's Batman to Superman, and Batman's like, "Hey Superman, have you ever met the Doctor?" He's like, "Oh yeah, man in a blue phone booth. Yeah, I've met him." Batman's like, "It's weird he didn't save Krypton." And then you see a text from the Doctor going, "Fixed point in time, sorry."
Like, I couldn't save my own planet. It's not
Yeah.
because I didn't want to. That'd be one of those things. That's a good point. Why the fuck? Not?
Yeah.
Or a million other.
I got your sea cucumber. I'm working on salmon now.
Oh yeah, I need some sugar. Weird ass nephew. I have no thing for that. I know nothing.
Aside from the fact that he likes to just stand in his room and lift weights with no shirt on.
Put all to nobody.
I got you. I got you one salmon. I'm working on getting you some more. Or salmon dinners to give to whoever that was.
Alex.
Ah, right.
Everybody going home. Be creepy and standing.
Well, they only appear until 7 though, so.
Haley, I know you don't know me, but here's a coconut. Will you like that?
Just throw it at her.
Bro. Wham! Didn't think fast enough.
Probably a blonde joke there.
Emily is like, what the fuck's wrong with you? Like, I told her. That brain just didn't function right. Quit drugging yourself. Let's see here. What do I need to make now? I got some shoes. Underneath the bucket of fish. I believe that's the. I actually made them cookies. I'm pretty sure I've made them cookies, yeah.
Okay, it's 7, so I'm bringing the fish now.
Did you get a sea cucumber?
Yep.
That once the amaranth is done. That makes season chicken.
Or if Grovis gets them.
Yeah. Whatever's after red plate and I can't do
Salmon and sea
Why?
cucumber. And... Yeah, it
In
won't
my
let us.
fridge.
Yeah.
I can't do. It's like what the fuck? Oh, I need
It
to
won't
put
work
that-
vice versa either, so.
Okay, I need the first 3. Whatever's after farmer's porch. So, working on that, working on that. Need to grow some cranberries.
And rail closed because of COVID. That was just an update from WWW just now.
Yes. People need to be more cautious.
Yeah. Did you hear about the, it was like the police sergeant and, fuck, I don't remember what town, but there was a police sergeant in the news recently who was actually banning his officers from wearing masks.
That's an ignorant fuck right there. That's
Yeah. His justification
I just
was,
love-
well, officers who work at schools can still wear them, but, and ones who are high risk, but everyone else.
It's like if they're in their car by themselves, no, they don't need a mask on. If they're 3 feet from somebody giving them a ticket, they need to have their goddamn mask on.
Yeah.
I just love that people are like, I'm not gonna let the government tell me what to do. It's like, but you're a United States citizen.
Yeah.
Social Security, selective
Yeah.
services, taxes.
What? The ones who are like, they're
Census.
tracking us through the mask. Yeah, because they didn't give us security numbers when we were born.
You don't have a goddamn iPhone in your pocket.
Yeah.
Who does the government use to transport information across battlefields? iPhones. This motherfucker here could tell them more about me than fucking anything else could. Jeez. That's the ignorancy of the world, though. It's like, they tracking us through masks. First off, that's dumb. Second off, if you think pigeons are actually doing shit, I don't know what your problem is. But if you don't think that this iPhone or any of the numerous devices that connect to the wireless network of your house are not leaking every bit of your secrets, you are a fool.
I gotta feel bad for anyone who'd be watching my searches. All he does is search up walkthroughs for video games.
Well, that's like when people are freaking out. They're like, they're recording all your Warzone party conversation. It's like, they're listening for sensitive information and terrorist acts. They are not literally looking at everything. It's because a lot of soldiers play Call of Duty games, and I'm sure they've got to be... I'm sure no one actually talks about anything, because that would be stupid, but I'm sure just government wants to be like, they know shit.
Yeah.
Oh, the statue.
The 16th of this month is the fair, and I've already gotten 9 things for both of us. Hopefully, can actually double my money on the spinner this time, so I can get that last star fruit, and I can get the achievement for getting all the star fruits.
Maybe we'll just stand there forever. Wait.
I mean, I could do the fishing competition, but then you'd be waiting on me for a bit.
Yeah, the whole time. I'll put it in the best way I can when the whole mask thing. When motherfucking Bill Nye the Science Guy has to tell people to put a mask on, you know you should listen. Like, he did a thing on his TikTok about how masks are important and what they do, and I was like, damn. Every person who grew up with this man is ashamed if they have
One of the favorite things I saw, I actually posted it on my Facebook too. It says, if you complain about not being able to breathe while wearing a mask, you're openly admitting to being weaker than a furry. I was like, nice.
Well, that doesn't matter. This whole pandemic is just showing people how truly unhealthy they are. If they have a mask that's designed to be breathed through for more than 5 minutes, then...
Yeah.
I mean, fucking China wears them religiously all the time.
Yeah. I mean, all of Asia does. Even if they've got, like, they've got sniffles, it could just be allergies. They're like, nope, just to be sure.
China, I guess before the pandemic, first polluted atmospheres too. I don't know how things are now, because obviously, with the way this pandemic's gone.
That was one of my favorite memes I saw. It was the report about how dolphins and stuff were going back to Italy since the waters were less crowded. And it shows a dodo and goes, guess where I've been?
It's just like, how do we make an animal that is destined to be fucking evaporated? A flightless, big-ass bird. Dumb as shit, friendly as hell. Exists on, like, one island. Yep. That's about how we do it.
I love, there's like whole Twitter trends, or threads about like God coming up with different animals. They're like a cat. And he's talking to an angel. He's like, okay, we're going to make it super independent, but super adorable and fluffy. The angel's like, I love that. He goes, and then add murder claws to it.
Murder claws. It's like a dolphin, right? We're going to make this, you know, nice, adorable fish that has a tendency to kill itself. Like, legitimately commit suicide. So, play with that how you will.
Duckbill platypus. I don't know. Just use what's left over.
It's like, what's this thing? Fuck made that? Okay, I gotta look. I don't know whose conversation I'm in the middle of.
Oh, it's Haley. Why don't you do this as your one weekly? It's for Emily.
Okay. I was like, I'm not very good friends with Haley. I wouldn't see why it would be hers. But yeah, quit bitching. It's not like your sister doesn't work all the goddamn time. She's a bartender. Or she mixes hallucinogenics into... She's like the absinthe dealer or something. I'm not sure yet. Fuck,
But I started looking them up. This one, God creating spiders. Make it have 8 legs. That seems excessive, but okay. And 8 eyes. You need to calm down a little. Give it butt rope.
That's stronger than anything else.
Yeah.
It's like I watched a video of how they like farm spiders. It's a really fascinating process, actually. But and then the guy gets all of it together, and he like keeps tugging on it. He's like, I couldn't break this if I wanted to. And literally, the guy interviewing was like, so you're telling me this thing, this tiny little thing, makes something stronger than what the government wears to stop bullets? He's like, if we could get enough of this, it could stop bullets. It's just like, yeah. But you gotta think, when everything was being created, and let's just look, use a scorpion for a prime example. Here's this big fucking black emperor scorpion. Yeah, he's not that bad. He's not. There's this tiny white fucking inkling little bitch scorpion called a bark scorpion. Yeah, he can kill you in 3 minutes. The fuck?
Here's one.
It's a pea-sized spider.
God talking to a snake. God, there's my first animal. Snake, you're not done right. How am I supposed to move? Like this. Shimmy. Snake just stays silent. Just kind of shimmy. Snake, dude.
You know, just kind of... It's like, just... I watched a thing that talked about the evolution of animals. And it was like, at some point, snakes could possibly develop a bunch of tiny little legs, and I just like the picture they drew was
oh,
like if you took
okay.
a millipede and turned it into a
So I didn't represent it well. Here's the kitten one. It goes, God creating kittens. God, make them really fluffy and adorable, like furry hugs. Angel, oh, that's so sweet. God, and put razor blades on their feet.
hold on, what? I have spoken.
See, all my wines are silver. They should be done in the next almost 60 days. Hopefully. If not, I guess come the last day I'll just pickaxe all of them out of the crate and sell a bunch of gold star ones.
Purpose, I could just buy an egg from you guys.
Oh, I was gonna. Well, I'll do that tomorrow. I was supposed to be trying to get more salmon for you for Alex, but kind of forgot. And it's already 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, there's either
There's
there's either a siren outside your window or a small child yelling.
That was a siren.
Okay.
I mean, I believe based on what I'm hearing, there's a potential for both. There's a lot of animals though that you can look at and just be like, what? Fuck, there's a thought process behind this, that damn thing. Like today, me and Val were talking about the wonderful mantis shrimp. Do you know anything about the mantis shrimp?
Never even heard of.
Mantis shrimp has pound for pound the strongest hit of any animal. It is a fucking shrimp. This thing is called the bullet shrimp because it can literally move its front claws so fast it breaks the sound barrier. It can shatter its own enclosures. I mean, these things are the gnarliest fucking little things in the world. And they literally, they eat like snails and shit, so they literally crack open the skulls and eat them. It's a scary
Here's one.
thought.
Here's another one. It's a go between God and an angel. Goes God 8. Angel goes 9. God, we shouldn't do this while we're drunk. Angel goes 10. LOL. God 15. Angel a mouthful of pizza. 25. God 30. Centipede tearing up. Stop giving me legs. I look stupid. God 100. Angel LMAO.
Yeah. It's funny too, because the one that has all the legs can't do a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
But the motherfucker with only like 2 legs per section is a lethal fucking killing machine.
Centipede bad. Millipede.
Yeah, millipedes are fine. Unless you're a pufferfish. Apparently they eat those things like candy.
Another tuna in your refrigerator.
There's
Or
this
salmon,
TikTok I see every now and again. This guy's got this pufferfish. I don't remember the name, but he feeds him stuff every now and again just so you can see how gnarly pufferfish are. And he puts one in there and he's like, oh, this is his favorite. And the damn thing bites it clean in half right away. I'm like, oh, the bug carnage is all over. Not being those things literally kill people.
Yeah.
It feels bad. You see, if you really looked at how messed up some of the things in this world that were made, you think of this way. Humans, big, strong. No built-in real weapon. We got our hands, our feet. Then you got things like bears. Then you think about all the reptiles in the world that were like, you know what? We'll make reptiles with their defense. Fucking venom. Just burn holes through you.
This is God creating the walrus. God, what if a dog bearfish, Angel? You mean a seal? God, yeah, that one. What if it fucked a saber-toothed tiger?
Old Smilodon.
This week's dish is bruschetta. Sounded kind of Russian.
It's definitely not a Russian.
No. I sold
Alright,
pine
guys.
cone.
I think we're actually going to close the stream out there for tonight. Trying to make Stardew go out a little bit longer, just so we can get everything finished. What we're doing, because once we get done with year 4, we're going to be getting into Conan Exiles, which should be a lot of fun. But I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. We will be doing some Gears of War 2 tomorrow, probably getting close to the finish of that tomorrow. So look forward to you all joining us then, and I'll catch you in the next one.